All right. So, guys, we're here to talk about the course request process for next year. That's how you guys are going to request and choose your classes that you will have next school year. My name is Mr. Wilson. I'm one of the counselors here at Carter.
Hi, everyone. It's Ms. Guardado, also part of the counseling team.
All right. So let's jump in. Are we jumping? Come on now. Change. And boom. Oh, there we go. All right.
Cool.
Am I on track for graduation? So the only way to know this is actually by looking at your transcript. So teachers, please pass out transcripts now. Feel free to pause this video, and then you can restart it when everyone has their transcript in front of them. All right. At this point, everybody should have their transcript in front of them, and it should look something like this. Okay, so we're going to look at a few different areas on your transcript to help you understand them. First off, over to the left there, you'll notice that, and it depends on how many semesters of high school you've had. This person here, this sample one that we're looking at is a 10th grader who has just finished their first semester. So there are 3 semesters on there. You'll notice that each class is listed with the grade. And then those 2 numbers that come after it is how many credits it's worth and how many credits you earned. So this example one that we're looking at, the student has passed everything, and so they've earned all of their credits. And you'll notice that in the graduation requirements section. So in the graduation requirements, you can see each subject area, how many credits you need for each of those. In order to graduate at the end of your senior year, you need 220 credits. It'll tell you how many you've completed and then how many you still need. Okay, so that's what that box is all about. Also, if you don't know, your counselor is listed on here. So this transcript that we're looking at has me for a counselor. So hello, I'm your counselor. Although hopefully you already know who your counselor is. And then lastly, on your transcript, there's an area where we have all the GPAs listed. So the GPA summary. We'll go over these really quickly, but if you ever have any questions about your GPA, that's a really good conversation to have with your counselor. There are 3 GPAs that are listed on there. The first one is the weighted GPA. That is your weighted overall GPA. That's every class that you've ever taken while you've been at Carter. And weighted means if you take an honors or an AP class, it actually counts as a grade point bump up. So for instance, if you get an A in an honors class, it counts as a 5 and not a 4 when you're calculating it. Your UC Cal State GPA is your A through G GPA. Okay, so only A through G classes. And then the last one is your Cal Grant GPA. We're not going to say too much about that right now, but it's really important. Your Cal Grant GPA depends upon how much money you are eligible for when you do your FAFSA as a senior. That's only 10th and 11th grade, and really important, it's not weighted. So that means you got to get those A's and B's. You want to keep that Cal Grant GPA over a 3.0. Okay, so that's a really quick into as far as like what's going on your transcript. I know it looks a little bit confusing. If you ever have any questions about your transcript, great conversation to have with your counselor. So the big question that everybody asks is how many credits should I have right now? Okay, if you are a 9th grader, you should have 30 credits because you just finished 6 classes, 5 credits each. That's 30. If you're a 10th grader, you should have 3 semesters on there, like the example transcript that we just looked at. That's 90 credits. And if you're an 11th grader, you should have 150 credits. So that's to be on track. Okay, if you have less than those, it means that you failed some classes somewhere along the road and you didn't earn your credits, and you definitely need to have that conversation with your counselor. Okay? All right.
Sure. So now that we went over graduation requirements and we kind of talked about how many credits you should have for high school graduation, you might be asking yourself, am I on track for college? So let's go ahead and go over that. We talked a little bit about A through G when we were going over your transcript, but this is a little bit more specific, right? So each subject is assigned a letter, and that's why we just abbreviated to A through G. So for example, A is history, right? So those 2 years of history, you have to earn a C or better to be eligible to apply to a 4-year. Does not mean you're getting in, right? A minimum of C or better. Even if you're not planning to attend a 4-year college, A through G is important to prep you for community college, for that trade school. And remember that these grades factor into your overall GPA, and then that Cal Grant too. So A through G is really important for a lot of different factors, and there should be hopefully a poster of this in your classroom. If you have questions about it, feel free to visit us in counseling and we can explain it in more detail.
For sure. And remember that at Carter, we try and keep everybody on track for A to G. So it doesn't matter what your plan is. We want you to have as many options as possible when you graduate. Okay, so what classes should I request for next year? And then this is me. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about how to access our online course catalog. So guys, what we did, and we did this a few years back to try and be helpful, every course that we offer at Carter High School is in our online course catalog. So in order to access that, you just need to Google Carter High School, and we're the first thing that comes up. And then I'm going to open that in a new tab and show you what that looks like. So when you are on the Carter High School website, if you go to the student drop down up here, you are looking for
Course catalog.
Course catalog. There it is, course
Bottom left.
catalog. So if you click on that, it'll take you to our online course catalog. On the front page are quick graduation requirements if you just want to see what you need to do to graduate. Okay, and then there's some other notes and stuff on there. The A to G stuff that Ms. Guardado just went through. And then our academic planner, which you're actually going to see in a little bit, but the piece of paper that you're going to get in a few minutes, the entire thing is on the front page of our course catalog, and they all are quick links to where you need to go. On the left-hand side here, we've got a page set up for each one of the subject areas. When you go to that page, it's going to list 9th grade options, 10th grade options, and every course that we have here is listed. It tells you whether or not it meets an A through G category and whether or not it's weighted if it's an honors class. Some of the courses actually have videos attached to them that teachers have done to help explain what that class is, okay? And again, every class that we offer at Carter is here, so this is definitely worth spending some time kind of seeing the different programs that we have, see if things are interesting. But yes, our online course catalog, and if you ever have any questions about this, again, great question for your counselor. So that is our online course catalog. Another way to find out about classes is ASB is actually doing an elective fair next week. So next week during both lunches, actually it'll be this week because you guys are watching it. So January 25th and 26th, teachers that teach elective classes in different groups are going to set up during lunch. So if there's any of those classes that you're interested in, hopefully they'll be set up at lunch and you can ask questions, okay? Okay, so at this point, teachers, please pass out the academic planner. Feel free to pause the video here.
All right, cool. So hopefully now you should have your academic planner in front of you. So we're going to look at that. Thank you. All right, guys, so this is the time where you should take out a pen, a pencil, a highlighter, because you're going to circle the classes that you're going to take for next year, okay? So if we look, it starts with English, right? So depending on the grade you're in, you're going to go down and see what your next English class is. So if right now you're in English 10, next year you would be looking at English 11 or AP English language. So we're going to do that for each subject, okay? English, social science, math, and then PE. So you can request PE, right? That's fine. Sports PE, excuse me. Football, baseball, and basketball is currently what we're offering. Just because you request it, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be automatically placed into the class. There might be some tryouts. You might need to talk to coach, maybe a GPA requirement. There might be a couple of different factors that'll impact whether or not your counselor feels like it's appropriate for you to be in that class. So you can select it, but then the final decision will be kind of up to counselors, coach, and a couple of other important people, okay? So science, same thing. You're going to select your science class, and remember we have 2 different pathways. We highly suggest that you stick to the pathway that you're on, okay? So the living earth, chemistry, and physics is one. So if right now you're in the living earth, please select chemistry. If right now you're in chemistry, please select physics. If you're taking the other pathway, it would be environmental science, exploring marine environments, and then energy and the world of the future. So make sure that you're sticking to your science pathway. That's really important.
Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and flip that over. On the back side of your planner, there are most of our electives. So we'll start by looking at the languages. So right now, Carter offers both Spanish and German. If you are a 9th grader and you have not started your foreign language, you really should be doing that as a 10th grader. Get that moving because you need at least 2 years to be A through G eligible, although colleges recommend 3 and your counselor is going to push that you take at least the 3rd level as well. If you already speak Spanish, talk to your counselor. We can get you tested and see what level you should start in. Okay. If you are interested in doing one of our visual and performing arts classes, we have a lot of them here at Carter. They're great. They're all listed there, so you can check those out. Just a reminder to what we just said a few minutes ago. If you don't know what any of these classes are, check it out in the online course catalog, so you can circle one of those if you still have room. The magic number is 6 classes here, guys, unless you're doing like a 0 period or a 7th period. So by the time you get to this portion of the academic planner, you may already have 6 classes circled, and you might not have room for some of these electives. But if you do, let's move on to the next part, which is all of our other electives and the CTE pathways. We have a number of different career tech pathways here at Carter. If you're interested in doing those, we really do want you to finish the 2-year pathway. So if you start something, please plan on finishing them. They're all listed on the left-hand side there. The one that I do want to mention that's kind of special is the culinary arts pathway. That's actually taught off campus. It's only open to 11th and 12th graders, and it's a 6-7 period block. So you have to be okay having a 7th period. You get bussed off campus, and then you come back at the end of 7th period, okay? And there's no transportation after that, so you'd have to have a way to get home after that. So if you request that, you'll need to request both the Intro to Foods and the International Cuisine, and your counselor will make sure that's right when we're checking course requests with you. All of our other electives are listed there. Again, if you have any questions about any of those, check the online course catalog, or or hopefully check some of these classes out during the elective fair. Okay. All right, so make sure that on your academic planner you circle the 6 classes you think you need or want, so you know what you're doing. And then you'll also need to update your 4-year plan to make sure that it matches what you've done. We will do this later, so don't worry about this right now. When you're actually in the Career Center later with your English teacher at a different time, when your counselors are calling you in, you're going to have time in the Career Center to work on your 4-year plan in Naviance. So that's coming later. Don't worry about that.
Cool. All right, so now that you've circled that piece of paper, we know you're super excited and you're wondering, oh my God, what happens? I've picked 6 classes, right? Great question. So now you need to register for course requests online through Student View. So that paper was just to guide you. That way this process just goes super quick because you already know exactly what classes you're taking, okay? So you must be able to log into your Student View account for this process. Hopefully you guys know your username and password. If you don't, you can definitely reach out to us and we can support you with that, okay?
Probably a good time to say too that you need to do this on your computer and not on your phone. So if you're used to using the app on your phone, for whatever reason, the app doesn't play nice with what we're going to do.
Good point. If you can't log into Student View, stop by the counseling office ASAP to take care of that. Remember, you can come before school, at lunch, or after school. But I trust all you guys can log in. Okay, so we're gonna walk through the steps of how you would do this process, right? So step 1, you're on your computer, you log in with your username and your password. Up next, on the left, you're going to click on course request. And I think there's a little circle, so go ahead and click that. That will open up this window right here. So what you're gonna look for is a blue button that says click here to change course requests. You're gonna go ahead and click that blue button. And this is where we're going to start looking at our piece of paper to search for those course titles, right? So where it says course title, where that little magnifying glass is, you're going to begin to type the classes that you selected.
And this can be a little tricky. Usually less is better than more. Like for instance,
start typing English, ENG, and it'll pop up.
Because if you look for like Spanish, for whatever reason, some of our Spanish courses are listed Spanish and some of them are just Span.
Yeah.
So less is more.
Yeah, it'll pop up. So, well, for example, this student is taking English 10, so they went ahead and typed it in, and this is what the results were. You're going to click request next to the courses you want to add. So remember, we're picking classes for next year. So you need both fall and spring semester, both first and second semester. So you're going to be looking to click English 10 2 times, okay? Really important, guys, don't select any classes that begin with Apex or anything else that doesn't match the title on our course catalog or that piece of paper that you have in front of you, okay? We want you taking the classes that you need and not any crazy online classes that start with Apex. So added course requests appear at the bottom of your screen with a remove button next to them. So once you've added those classes, it should begin to populate what you've selected towards the bottom. So if you make a mistake, on the top, on the top. So if you make a mistake, you can click remove and then go back and select the correct course.
Sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, the little remove button there will take it right off.
Yeah, so no pressure if you click something that's wrong. So remember, again, 12 courses, right? 6 classes are going to start with F for first semester or for fall semester, and then another 6 classes are going to start with the letter S for second semester or for spring, okay? So 12 courses in total. So typically it's going to be an English class, math, science, history, foreign language, elective, right? But remember, look at your academic planner or your 4-year plan to really figure out what classes you should be selecting. Teachers, if you guys could allow some time maybe to do an example class together just to make sure that everybody understands and to double check that they're selecting a fall and a spring class, please.
Yep. So let's just maybe do English.
Yeah.
So make sure they're doing their English class for next year. If you want to give them more time to do all their course requests, totally fine. Let's just make sure they know how to do it before they leave. All right, course requests will be open in Student View until January 29th. So that's next Sunday. So make sure you take care of this until you've got until midnight on January 29th, and then the access will close, because at that point we start meeting with students, and we don't want people changing stuff after we've gone in and cleaned things up with you guys. So how do you know if you did everything right? Like, what happens next? Well, I just kind of referred to it, but basically counselors will be meeting with all students individually through their English class in January and February. Your teacher has a date that they're going to be up here. You guys will be in the Career Center for the entire period. During that period, counselors will call students in and meet with you and make sure that your course requests are okay. While you're in the Career Center, Ms. Zamora, our wonderful college and career center tech, is going to be having you guys either update or create your 4-year plans in Naviance, so that you've kind of got an idea how your course requests fit into your whole 4 years as a whole here at Carter. Okay, so make sure you can log into Student View. And if your teacher didn't give you time to do it right now, make sure you register for your course requests through Student View before January 29th. And again, Ms. Guardado already said it, but you need 12 courses. So that's 6 fall and spring, okay, for a total of 12. All right, and I think that concludes. So guys, thank you so much for your attention. Don't worry about stopping by and asking your counselor questions about course requests right now, because again, you will be meeting with them. We are going to have FaceTime. We're going to make sure this is all good. But counselors are available at lunch every day. You can always walk on in and see us if you need to.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a good day.